Good morning, guys. I'm back. I had a great August, of course. I was off work for 3 weeks and we traveled most of it. And it was a lot of fun and it was very relaxing, even if, we managed to see a lot of things. We've been to 3 countries, to Poland, in Krakow for 3 days, for 4 nights, and then we took a bus and went to Budapest, and then from there we flew to Turkey, where we stayed at the beach for about a week to, you know, some relaxation. And it was an awesome trip. I really love everything I saw. It has been exhausting at points. I had averaged my step average every day was has been from like 6,000 to 11,000 or something. I walked a lot, but I saw a lot of things and I met a lot of great people. So it was an amazing vacation. That said, I didn't had much time to stitch. I did brought with me the Quacker diamond, as I had said in my previous video, and it worked out really good because being on 28 count, it was relatively easy to work on without too many gear. And I still did use my mag eyes, and I used them in quite a few places, like pretty much in each and every one of the four hotel I stayed, in airport, and even in a like outdoor restaurants sitting a few times, and it was kind of intimidating at first, but it's people come and see what you're doing and they ask you what those things in your head are for, and it's quite funny, and I got used to it. I didn't mind, and it was actually a lot of fun. So without further ado, let's see where what I have been doing. So the project I brought with me is a Quacker. I never know how to pronounce it. Diamond by Rosewood Manor, and this is what it's gonna look like when it's finished. This project was started by my friend Lucy, and she had about half of it done. And I actually have a picture of what it looked like when I started. It's from my last video, so you can see. So during my vacation, all I have done, I have worked on it actually quite a bit, and this is how it looks like now. And pretty much what I did was I finished this, I added some of these motifs, I added pretty much all of this, and then I started working on this big motif here, this big diamond here. And it's a really fun project to work when you don't have, your big magnifier and everything. I can see it really well. I tried to stitch it on a frame at the beginning, and it was driving me nuts. This is being stitched with a code 4 Valdani thread, the 3-ply thread, and that thing, when the fabric is stretched, for some reason was shedding like a bobtail dog. I mean, it was insane. I couldn't work with it. It kept fraying and breaking and knotting, and it was doing a mess. Well, I found out that if you work with the same exact thread, but you work it in hand and with the sewing method, which is the method I use when I stitch in hand, it doesn't fray anymore. But it doesn't fray at all. So that was amazing, and of course it made my holiday stitching a lot more enjoyable than having to deal with, shedding thread, which is never fun. It's always pain in the butt. So I've done quite a bit of progress, and this is definitely going to be my travel project from now on, and I'm gonna take it with me every time I go for a weekend or something, and I'm gonna be like on a plane or somewhere, and I need something to do in the evening when we're back on the hotel resting. So it has been really fun, and I'm really glad I adopted it from Lucy because I actually like it a lot. Oh, something else I did was she had stitched the letter V here, and I unpick it and replace it with the T because I'm gonna move around, switch around the letter so my initial will go down here at the bottom of the part I stitched. So that's Quacker Diamond, and that's everything I have done during the time I spent on holiday. The other project I worked with since I came home is World Travel Bookshelf, because I kind of gave myself a goal to finish this row of pages before the end of the year. I'm not quite sure I will make it, but I'm sure I'm gonna try. So what I did is, oh, by the way, if you don't remember, this is what it's gonna look like when it's finished. And I haven't took it out of the frame because it's just a big pain, but so you only see the part where I work on. And what I did since I came home last week was I stitched like a couple of columns of this page 36, and I started the third column here. So I think by the end of this page the entire Pisa Tower will be showing up, and I will start working on the next scene. And if I remember correctly, I have page 36, 37, 38, and page 39 is just like a 3 stitches strip. So it's pretty much 3 pages I have to do before to finish the row before the end of the year. And I'm gonna try to do it because you know, I can't want when I started this, I knew it was gonna be a very long project, and you know, I don't have any, like with every one of my projects, I don't have a deadline, but I kind of like to see constant progress. I can't speak today on it, so I'm gonna keep working on this after I finish the video, and see where I can get this weekend. So this was the last thing, last whip I had to show for the month of August, and I have more to show, and it's mostly, it's 2 purchases and some gifts I received in the mail. So the first purchase, the first thing I bought, which is not exactly a cross-stitch item, but I made it a cross-stitch item, is this little heart. And I bought this in Budapest, Hungary, and apparently they make those little, this is like leather, very heavy, hard, like hardened, I don't know how they do it, leather, and it has a snap and it opens, and you're supposed to use this as a coin purse, but guess what? It became my traveling orth jar. So now it hangs from this claw thing from my traveling, the bag I use when I take my project on my travel, and I'm gonna use it as my traveling orth jar because I thought it was really cute, and it works fine because, you know, it's open and then it's not closed. So if you happen to be in Hungary, look for those because they're really, really cute. They had every shape and color that is possible on leather, and I really like the little heart, so that's the one I went for. So that's that, and then I'm gonna show you briefly another of my purchases. So as I think I mentioned in my last video, Anton from the Omanik factory this summer was having an extensive bike trip through Europe. He actually drove his bicycle from Barcelona in Spain all the way through Italy, Austria, Germany, Poland, until he reached Tallinn in Estonia, and he went home. And we tried really, really hard to kind of like arrange our schedule so he could spend a night, at least a night at our house, but unfortunately he got in my area a day ahead of me, and we couldn't meet. But even if we couldn't meet, he still managed to deliver the frame I bought from him, and he said, oh, I'm not gonna ship it, I'm gonna drive it to your house. I said, are you kidding me? You're driving like 5,000 kilometers on that bicycle with the frame in the back? Well, apparently it did. And so I have my frame. He actually left it at my mother's house. And the frame I ordered was something different than what I had before, because I really wanted to try the new device he has, which is this side stretcher. Now I have my Chalalet project mounted on it, and I'm not going to demonstrate today how it works because that will require some thinking of how to do it. I just wanted to show it to you and to mention that it really is important if you're stitching on a Chalalet to have this kind of device. Because as I mentioned in my omanik frequently asked question video, the problem with this kind of frame, either the omanik or the needle knit, is that with the perfectly square mandala style project, they tend to stretch the fabric only vertically. And I was ending up with a rectangular mandala, which, you know, it's still beautiful, but it kind of looks odd. And I'm sure that stretching it when you frame it would probably fix the problem. But when they came out with this new device, this is the back of it. It's kind of grab the fabric and you pull it horizontally. So what I'm hoping is that once I figure out exactly how to put it on, because it is a little tricky. When I stitch on my Chalalet, and I will be able to stretch vertically and horizontally, and this way the fabric will be pulled on each direction, and I will avoid that rectangularization that I was starting to notice and I didn't like. So stay tuned for more news about it. I haven't stitched with the device yet. It just arrived and I only managed to actually find a way to mount it correctly. And as I said, it is a little tricky to do. And I'm gonna link down below a video that actually Anton and his father made to demonstrate how to put it together and how it works. And all I want to say is that I am not 100% sure it is already in the regular line of production, so you might not find it on their website yet. But if you are interested in it, just email Anton at their order email and ask for information. It is not something that you can apply to a set of stretcher you already have. You have to buy a new stretcher which are taught already and built with the horizontal stretcher device. So I just wanted to show you briefly, and I will have more information about it once I start using it more like for real, because all I did so far was put the fabric on it. And one thing I want to say about it is that you're going to need bars that are at least, I would say at least 10 centimeters longer than your fabric. Usually you just need to have the bars as big as your fabric to be able to use this device. They need to be bigger, so at least 5 to 10 centimeters bigger than your fabric. If it's any bigger than that, it would not have enough reach to grab it. So keep that in mind if you're thinking to ask to omanik about this device. You need stretcher that are 5 to 10 centimeters longer than the size of your fabric. So that's what I wanted to say about that, and I will have more information in the future. There is something else I want to show you briefly, and it is an amazing gift I got in the mail. I actually got two. The first one is from a Canadian lady, and her name is Lou. And she has been one of my subscribers for a very long time, and she always leaves me a very nice comment. And sometime in the, I think in June or July, she reached out to me and say she had a band sampler with specialty stitches that she really liked, but she wasn't keen on stitching specialty stitches. So she showed it to me and she asked if I would like to have it. And of course I would like to have it. I really like band sampler. So this is the sampler. It's called Fleur de Lis sampler, and it's from Jeanette Douglas Design. And this is how it looked like. There you go. And it's really beautiful, and it has a bunch of her Canadian area landmark and Canadian things like, you know, ducks, flower and stuff. And I was really, really happy to receive it. But the thing is, she didn't just send me the pattern. She sent me also the silk to stitch it with. And I was just, and then the package was big and it had a whole bunch of other things. And I was just, I couldn't believe it. And I told her she's crazy. But of course, I really, really appreciate it. It was amazing. So she sent me this pattern called Floral Fantasy. And a very cute owl needle minder. And then she sent me a Mirabilia. And it's the Florentine by Nora Corber, and a matchy needle minder that goes with it, and the thread DMC that goes with it. And then she sent me a Nora Corbett, and it is the Water Lily Fairy, and all the DMC that goes with it. And I asked her permission for, and she agreed. So I'm actually going to pass this on to a dear friend of me that has a girl that really love this picture. So she's gonna stitch it for her, and I won't stitch it, but somebody who really love it is gonna have it. And Lou was more than happy to do that. And she sent me a Snag Nabbit, which I can't find it here. I had to buy it in the States, and I really treasure, and I will put it save for when, you know, I lose mine, because I lose everything. So that's gonna happen sooner or later, right? So if that wasn't enough, she added also all those Valdani thread. Those are over-dyed Valdani cotton thread, and they are really beautiful. And even that, if that wasn't enough, she added all those silk. Now there are some needlepoint silk and some Northern Light silk and some other that I don't quite know what silks. It's called Planet Art Fiber. I never heard of it, but they feel really nice, and I can't wait to find a place to use a project to stitch with. So thank you so much, Lou. It was, I mean, seriously, it really shocked me. I couldn't believe it, and it was an amazing, amazing gift, and I'm so grateful, and I hope I will be able to use some of those goodies soon. So that was really something. And when I came home, this arrived actually right before I left. And when I came home, I found a notice in the mail that I got something. So I went to the post office, and a while back, Emily from Eclectic Possession, she had a huge pattern haul. From, I think her husband got it at the Goodwill or something, and she was showing the pattern that she wasn't going to use. So I saw something that I really liked, and so I told her that you know, if she didn't mind, I would love to have it. And of course she sent it to me, and it's the Leisure Heart Herb Sampler, and it has all kind of herbs, and I love cooking and I love herbs, and I used to grow them, but now my terrace is too hot and they don't quite grow, and there is more pattern always based on herbs. That's really pretty, and I'm going to probably I might have to modify it a little bit, but I really like it. So at some point it will get stitched. But she wrote me a beautiful note, and she sent me that of course she couldn't stand that idea of this pattern traveling alone. So the crazy person that she is, and the crazy amazing person she is, she made me a bag. Look at this thing. Isn't that beautiful? I I couldn't believe it, and it's lined with this nice yellow fabric, and it's kind of like a style that goes very well with word travel bookshelf, and so we agreed that this is where my word travel is gonna live until it's finished. Of course, it's on the frame, but all the material are in here. So thank you, Emily. That was really amazing, and you are such an incredible sewer. Seamstress. I want to learn to make bags, but I can barely sew a straight line, and that's gonna be fun when it's dry. Anyway. This is all I have for the month of August. I hope to see you soon. For September, I'm planning on keep stitching on whatever strike my, whatever call to me. And for sure, I will finish the page on word travel. In a couple of weekends, I'm going to go to a retreat in Crewe in the UK. It's a smaller retreat than the one that is held in September. It will be about 20 something people. A few of those are very great friends of me, so I'm really looking forward to go and spend some time with them and to retrieve my stash, because as I was going to the UK, I ordered things and I had it sent to my friend, so I saved on shipping. So I haven't showed you any purchases from the first 8 months of the year 2017. Well, I'm afraid next time I will have a pile of shit to show. But it's fun. I like it, and I'm lucky I can afford to buy something I like when I feel like, and so I hope. I'm sure I will have hour of stitching. I think I already exceeded my life expectancy stitching time, but what can you do? That's a separate hobby, right? Accumulating stuff to stitch. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your comments and subscribe. I'm almost caught up with my comment. I'm way behind on watching Flosstube. In the month of August, I barely watch anything because of scarce Wi-Fi connection and stuff, and I just had other things to do, so but I'm back to it now, and I hope to keep up with all you guys. You are so many now, it's really hard to keep up with everybody. So anyway, thank you for spending time with me, and see you next time. Bye.